I've been down the Oxfordshire mansion. It's now Sunday. I'm on my way back up because Mrs. Otter has had an operation. Basically, she's now the bionic woman and has titanium screws in her spine. Nice, well, in her neck actually. So yeah, not pleasant. And I've just stopped for fuel. We're in Rosie, and she wouldn't start again. Wouldn't crank, wouldn't turn over. But I did notice, couldn't hear the fuel pumps. So that's your big clue. So a little bit of probulating in the fuse box. Found the fuse for the fuel pump. It didn't look blown, but that's not always the full story. Replaced it with the correct ampage. Somebody put a 30 amp in instead of a 20. And as soon as I turned the ignition on, heard the fuel pumps. You normally hear the one under the bonnet. It's only a slight noise, but you do hear it. And I wasn't getting that. So as soon as I know I can hear that fuel pump, I knew it'd start. And sure enough, she did. So now in Shipston on Stour, on our way back. But the last few days I've driven on, I could smell sort of an electrical smell in the car, you know, the kind of pong like you used to get from Scare Electric's controllers and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if the fuse had probably actually blown before, but it was making intermittent contact enough to keep the car running. Because I've had that before on a bike, and I had a fuse and it didn't look like it had blown, but it had actually blown just away from the bridge. So it wasn't that easy to see. It was an opaque fuse, totally solid, and it had blown just the other side of sort of the link in the opaque part, and you couldn't actually tell it was blown, but it had. And so anyway, replaced the fuse, and as you can see, we're running again, so all good. So yeah, chilled out, quiet weekend. Obviously hospital taxi service. So that's it for now. What a horrible car. I don't know what the hell that was, but it was something American and it was very vulgar. I quite like American cars. I really love the films where they get like the old 70s, great big 70s Buicks out and stuff like that. I absolutely love those Lanyots. So yes, a bit of a subdued one this week, but that'll do for now, and I'll leave you with the exit of Shipston on Stour. Well, they do say bad luck comes in threes, and sure enough, as an addition to what you've just seen, I went chemist this morning in Slinky, the SLK, and it ran like an absolute bag of shit. Actually ground to a halt at one point. Just really poor throttle response and all that lot. And I thought, oh, okay, but it got me to the chemist. Starts fine, it idled fine, and I thought, oh, it's only because it's been cold and it's not been used for a little while. You know, not a long while. But what with modern fuels being shit, it could be that, who knows. Anyway, I got back, scanned it, pictures, pictures. Yeah, they'll look good when it's edited. No, it won't. And I know I've got a problem with the O2 sensor, but the O2 sensor generally won't make it run that badly. And we know what that is. Uncle Steve's told me the part to get, which I'll probably just let him do it, because I haven't got the socket to get it out, get the sensor out. The sensor's quite easily accessible, but I haven't got the special socket for O2 sensors to get it out. So probably leave that with Uncle Steve. And also his MOT runs out at midnight today, so I thought I'll just use it. I'll just take it chemist, give him a little run, And then anyway, I scanned it when I got back, and I've got a misfire on cylinders 1 and 3. And Captain Colin has quite happily diagnosed that if you had a V12, you'd have more cylinders to fall back on. But or a V8. So I think it was a V8. Why not go all old? We'll have a V12. So yeah, now that can either be coils. I have replaced all the coils. Doesn't mean that they're good, but they've been on the car a little while, year or two, probably a year since I replaced them all. But it's been about 4 years since it had its plugs done, and that would be about the time limit to have them done. Just so happens I have a set in, so when the weather's a bit better, replace the plugs. But the first thing I'm going to do to see if I can repeat it is I'm going to swap the coil from cylinder 1 to cylinder 2, because there's no misfire count on cylinders 2 and 4, and just to see if the problem migrates. If it does, you know it's the coil. If it doesn't, blame the plug. And quite often a lot of the car people don't replace a whole set of plugs if they're not all playing up. They'll replace one plug, for instance, especially on classic cars, because bear in mind, every time you put plugs in and out, you're weakening that thread, and you don't know what kind of fucking gorilla put them in the last time. Well, I know the gorilla that put mine in, so you know, we're quite happy to do it. So yeah, that's what it was. And oh yeah, today bad luck comes in threes apparently, so we do some good karma, because Flo the Micra failed her MOT this morning. Usually I put it in with Steve, but other things have been happening, didn't have time to arrange it, so Mumsy arranged it. They took it somewhere, a good garage, and it failed on. A couple of ball joints are worn. You can't really feel it through the steering, but then again, when something wears gradually, you don't tend to until they're catastrophic, and then you feel the play. But as we only drive them occasionally, didn't notice it. But there was an advisory for it last year, so yeah, they've gone. So that's in again next week to be fixed. So hopefully that's my streak of bad luck, and tonight we're going to win the lottery, and then we're going to go and buy a 1980s Ferrari. Anyway, new tool time, yay! I wanted to reset, because I've just done the oil change and service on Rosie. I wanted to do reset the oil and inspection lights, and yes, people in the Rover community know that you can bridge a couple of the pins on the OBD connector and do it, but I'm not particularly happy doing that. I can't remember how the hell I did it last time. I'm sure I used a scan tool on my phone and a Bluetooth OBD scanner to do it, but a lot of people on forums were saying get one of these things, a Gunston. Now I've known about these for years, but always thought they were a fucking waste of time to do one job. And how many of us buy a tool to do one job? Me. But I've seen that one. They're still available new for about 30 quid, but I saw that one used on Fleabay for a tenner, so I got it. And basically what you do, it plugs into the OBD, you turn the ignition on, and then you hold down these lights, these twat buttons. One to reset the oil counter, one to reset the inspection counter, which are two different things. Oil counter is reset to 15,000 miles. I'm not sure what the inspection is. I think it's probably more to do with age, I don't know. So yeah, so we've done that. So that is it for now. Wish me luck, and I wish all of you lot some good luck as well. So yeah, we could use it. I've just sawned the Merc, and I've just sawned Nibbler, because I only worked one day last week. So because Mrs. has been in hospital, I decided it was my decision. I could have worked more last week, but I decided to have a few days off, and I've used my holiday up, so that's why we're only getting paid one day. So my choice, you know, but get the violins out. So yes, with any luck, the karma god will be looking down, and we'll win the lotto. So that's all for now. Thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I've noticed actually, I'm sure I've said this before, but I noticed you can look as a creator, you can analyse your channel, and it's funny enough that something like 90% of my traffic actually comes from Google searches, which is staggering to think that there are people out there that think I know things.